We welcome you and your family and your friends to Unity Spiritual Center, where we honor the universal truths in all religions and respect each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. No matter where you are and on your path and where you might be on that spiritual path, you're always welcome here. Hi, my name's Shari, and I'm going to be your podium assistant for this morning. Today we have Reverend Julie Montague as our guest speaker and J.P. Falcon Grady for our musical guest. Now let's get centered before we say our 5 spiritual principles together. Take a deep breath in and let it out. God is good and present in all things. The holiness of God is my own true nature. I'm creating my experiences by how I think. My thinking is guided by my daily affirmative prayers and affirmative actions. I follow and I am sustained by these values in every way and every day. Now I invite you into a sacred time of meditation. This is your time to be the one who loves with the one who loves you the most. It's your time to be with the one who loves you most. Divine Spirit, take a few moments to become comfortable. Take a deep cleansing breath in and release. Again, deep breath in and release. Invite quiet and calm to float in. Ask yourself, how do I manifest my spiritual strength? We each might have a different answer. Consider that when you join with source energy, with God, you step into your absolute spiritual strength. A partnership with the divine for inner strength creates a powerful attraction for well-being. Well-being in all aspects of your life. Joining with Spirit, you might feel empowered, worthy, vibrant, fortified, confident, calm, focused, loved. Say to yourself, Divine Spirit, show me how to feel greater well-being, the fullness of my spiritual strength. All things are possible with Spirit. Asking is the first step. Dear Spirit, I want to renew the depth of my spiritual strength. I ask you to support me in this quest. As you return from this time of meditation, bring with you the sensation of spiritual strength. Feel the love and enjoyment of playing with source energy. Take a few deep breaths. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And so it is. Amen. Now, let's welcome our guest speaker for today, Reverend Julie Montague.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm just delighted to be with you here this morning. It's a wonderful day with a lot of liquid sunshine, and we're celebrating that for sure. We have our wonderful trees that are always green. And so I wanted to share with you this morning some of the ideas around the second power, or out of the 12 powers of man, the second power is strength. And last week, if you saw this recording, you would know that the first week is faith. Now, these two powers depend on each other somewhat. It's very clear in Charles Fillmore's writing about the 12 powers that each one of them builds on the next one. So when we get through all 12 of them, we will have a complete picture of what it looks and feels like to express as a spiritual being with full faith in God, and letting your life unfold from that idea. Well, that power of faith was Peter. And Peter was Andrew, who is the disciple that Charles Fillmore picked for strength. So we have these two brothers, and Peter is the one that is having the faith and answering the questions and relating to Jesus Christ's message in a powerful, faithful way. In other words, he was sitting at Jesus' feet every time he taught and just soaked up the information and the faith and the belief in this man who knew so much that no one else seemed to know. So, so he was established as the disciple for faith, and once you master one of these powers of man, and it's really mankind, man and women, once you master that, then that becomes your power. It's just like when you have faith in something and it doesn't quite come together, you probably haven't gotten to the real ground of it, the thing that is really what you're putting your faith in. Remember that faith is something that can be directed outward or could be directed inward. So if we try to believe something that our eyes and our ears and our senses are telling us is true, and someone else comes along and perceives it completely differently, it could have a lot to do with where they are in the learning about the 12 powers. So we're going to set aside Peter for a second here, for a little while, and go on to Andrew. Andrew is the disciple that represents strength. Now, for most of us, when you say, I am going out to the gym and I'm working out every day, and boy, my strength is getting stronger and stronger, that's one kind of strength. The other kind of strength is the strength that Charles Fillmore talked about, which he called strength, stability, and steadfastness. You know, when we headed off for a short little vacation last week, we left and we went to Las Vegas. My husband likes to visit Las Vegas at certain times, and he also likes to find good prices on airfare and things like that. So we have, since we've retired, traveled quite a bit more. And what has happened is every time we go somewhere and we perceive something isn't quite right, we go through a process of staying strong, knowing that with God all things are possible. And let me give you one example. There is some people that probably have never been to Las Vegas. I've been there more than I want to be there, but he likes it. But it doesn't matter. What's true is we have a good time. So that's great, and we're enjoying each other. And he was going from one casino to another casino to another casino. And we got to we went to kind of close to the end of the day, a casino, and he went out to pull the car around to get me in the car so we could go back to our hotel room. And his wallet was missing. And his wallet had several $100s in it. And he went into a place of, how could I have done this? How could I have done this? How could I have done this? Why wasn't I paying more attention? No. I don't know if you've ever done that, but that's kind of the reaction he got. And so I got in the car and I said, you know what? Nothing is ever lost in spirit. And nothing that you have can be taken away from you, because that came to you, free will from spirit, and you can, it will stay with you if you choose to believe it will. So we got in the car. He doesn't have his wallet. He knows exactly how much money he has in it. And we go zooming back to the casino before. The earlier one. And all the way over there, I'm saying, now you just need to breathe, and you just need to know that nothing's lost in spirit, that God is going to respond to you right now with everything you need. And so we got back to the casino before, which was probably a 45-minute drive, and we went to the security guard, and he says, oh, there's a lost and found over there. And Roy says, well, I'm going to go back to the machine I was playing on. And he went to the machine, and he looked on the floor, and there was his wallet in plain sight. It had all the money in it. Nothing was missing. And he looked at me, and he says, I'm never going to doubt you again. And it was that kind of thing, because I absolutely knew that What's mine can't be taken from me, because God is my protection. God is my light. God is my resource. God is all that is. And when you can move yourself into that kind of faith that Peter represents, actually, it allows you to have the strength, the steadfastness, the stability to calm down, turn it over to God, allow yourself to relax, and allow yourself to allow the good to flow to you. So we talked about that as we drove back. The wallet was exactly where he dropped it, and we went on our way. And it turned into a wonderful lesson for both of us to stop if we think something's, I remember in Star Wars, they used to say, there is a disturbance in the field, right? A disturbance in the light. And that's kind of how it felt like on that day. We had a disturbance in our sequence, and yet nothing could be taken away from us that was ours. The other thing I thought was really interesting is that strength is a word that can mean so many different things. I mean, again, like it could be working your muscles, but it could also, strength can be also how you react in situations. One of the fun things that I really enjoyed that we got to see was the new Wonder Woman movie. And we both wanted to see it, but we missed it by a couple hours on HBO. And so we found that there was a movie theater open in the hotel we're staying in. And it's an AMC, and we went down there and we thought, gosh, we haven't gone to the movies in 2 years. Since this pandemic started, let's go to the movies. And I said, I want to see that Wonder Woman movie. He goes, I do too. So we walked in to the AMC, which was all part of the casino. I mean, this is a casino with a bowling alley, a bingo parlor, a movie theater, restaurants, buffets, the whole thing's there. Everything. You would never have to go anywhere if you lived there. But anyway, we went in, and we not only... They were playing Wonder Woman, but it was, if you're over 65, you get to come in for $4. So things just kind of flow in a good way when you have learned how to switch off your panic button when you think something's gone wrong and go back into the flow of God's good. If you can picture that, if you're afraid. I mean, for a moment there, Roy, for a few minutes, was very afraid he'd lost something valuable to him. But I kept saying, nothing can be taken away from you that's yours. There is divine order in this universe. Everything works perfectly. And of course, he found that wallet right away, and we got to go see the movie. And one of the things that the movie really brought up for me was how Wonder Woman had started out with her as a child trying to win this test with all these other super women. I think they're all super women, I guess, from that island. And she came in first, but she cut a corner and didn't do it exactly the full length of the track. And so her mother told her, I'm sorry, you're not ready. If you were ready for this, you could do it without cutting any shortcuts. And so she stayed and kept working and finally became Wonder Woman, and she acquired all of the things she needed. Sometimes I think the 12 powers are like attributes each one of us can have by just focusing on it and calling it to us. So if I was Wonder Woman, and this happened in the movie, she lassos one of the people that are on the wrong side, so to speak. It's really, really an interesting movie in some ways because it's set up so that it doesn't seem like anything really spiritual is going on at all in this movie, except she's this powerful woman who saves kids and stuff like that. But there's also this, everything she has, she uses for good. Like she has remember the lasso of truth? If you get lassoed by the lasso of truth, you can't tell a lie. You have to tell the truth. Well, in the movie, and I don't want to give everything away if you haven't seen it, but in the movie, she actually has all the arm things that she can bounce bullets off of, and she's got the lasso of truth, and she's got all these things. And she ends up, there is a man who finds an ancient stone that could grant any wish. Well, he finds out that that's not making him happy, and he becomes kind of a maniac around it, about trying to get everybody to pick wishes that he thinks he wants to use. So it turns out that the movie is all about the battle between this man's ego and Wonder Woman. And in the crosshairs between, there's somebody who works at her office that could have gone either way, but the movie tells you that if you go this certain way, the ego, which we often say is edging out God, the ego will take you down the wrong road, and it won't be a pleasant road usually if you go off on trying to control everything yourself. In fact, I could say also the movie was about Wonder Woman loving and caring and saving people, and the ego that tries to entice people into whatever wish they think would make them feel better than they feel at that moment. This guy wanted to give you that wish, and it was all built on falsehoods. And that's what the ego is. It's all built on falsehoods. You can't lose anything that's yours. You can't not recover from any kind of illness or tragedy or sickness, anything. You cannot be controlled by that unless you believe that calamity or illness or whatever it is in your life can't be transmuted into love, into abundance, into generosity, into all of that. And I try to think, and this is not just Wonder Woman, but I remember just watching the movies like Batman and Superman and all of those, and reading the comics when I was a kid. And I realized from watching those movies and seeing those things that you don't ever see the superhero falling down in tears going, oh my gosh, I'm weak and tired, and somebody's done it to me, and I'm a victim of somebody, and the bad guy's gonna get me. You don't see those emotional kind of responses, because the response when you are steadfast and stable and strong is you straighten your spine, and you do what you need to do to help yourself and others. Anyway, this is kind of an interesting idea of strength. When, right now during this pandemic, we've had many, many deaths. We've had many, many shutdowns of things. We have been restricted on what we can do, like go to movies or not. But we now are seeing the end. The vaccines are coming, and they're getting in people's arms, and people are starting to take that deep breath and just relax for a minute, because it's been such a long struggle to get past all of this COVID-19. But we have prayed, and we have invested our faith that this is a temporary situation, and it's a temporary situation that we can all believe is disappearing right away, now, at this time. Let us all pray together that COVID-19 is a thing in the past, that we are strong and healthy and whole, and so grateful that nothing can come and disturb our peace and disturb our love for each other. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It's wonderful to get to speak with you. God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Julie. That was wonderful. Thank you for being with us today. We've reached the part in our service that we get to give, to practice the abundance that we are. There are 2 ways that you can give, and you'll find that information at the end of the service. We're always grateful for your generous gift. As you consider your gift, affirm, I give freely and joyfully, for God is my source, and I have abundance in all areas of my life. Please say with me our offertory blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Let's welcome our musical guest, J.P. Falcon Grady.
All right, hello everyone. My name is J.P. Falcon Grady. I'm going to do an original song here for you. This song here is called The Rain. And this song is for all of us who've lost someone. So please enjoy. Rain, wash away these tears. Help me find some solid ground to set my feet on. Rain, wash away this heartache you left in me, weighing me down, weighing me down. Maybe you can see the sun from where you're standing, but all I see is rain. Sure to fall through the night. This old room is cold with sorrow, dark with fear. It's driving me insane. Help me make it through the night. Help me make it through. The rain. Sister sleep, give me a dream. I want to wake up in a palace full of angels. Sister moon, give me a tune. I want to sing myself to sleep below this rainfall. Maybe you can see the sun from where you're standing. All I feel is rain. Shadow fall through the night. This old room, it's cold with sorrow, dark with fear. It's driving me insane. Help me make it through the night. Help me make it through. Ooh, the rain.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful, wonderful. It's always nice to see you. We're at the end of our service, and let's say our prayer protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you for being with us today. Have a blessed week ahead.